I say bring it.
How did you come up with the powers, and how do you make them work and make them believable?
inFAMOUS is all about powers. I mean, that's the core fantasy that you've got as a player, is I get to go into this world and be a superhero. I get to do all kinds of superhero stuff. We tried to think of what the fantasies are. You know, there are things you couldn't do in the last game, like picking up a car and throwing it. Well, this is just the canonical superhero thing to do, right? So this game you can. You can just wander around and pick stuff up and huck it around, and it's completely fun.
I got a regular slate.
Ready?
No.
Yeah. We knew we didn't want to start off with, you know, all he can do is shoot little sparks out of his hand. We knew we were taking forward a guy who's already reached some of his potential. So he's going to have all of the basic powers that Cole had earned in the Empire City story in inFAMOUS 1. And now we have to really kind of figure out how to naturally progress that.
Cole has a huge variety of powers now, and they're just fundamentally different from one another. And your play style is going to be different than mine, and that's great, and we want to just support that. A lightning bolt to the face, right? That's one option. A spread shot that does all this collateral damage to everybody around, but you don't care because you're an evil jackwagon. Great. You should have that option.
We wanted to have some stuff that was just spectacular, over the top. So like the Ionic Vortex, the tornado that you can throw out, is that. You know, we just wanted something where you just felt like you were a god among men, sending this tube of destruction down the street and seeing chaos in its wake.
Cole can cover himself in napalm and dash forward, and so you can just crash into cars or people or whatever and send everyone flying. He can send ice down the street, freezes everyone in his way, and then as you're walking down the street, there's these giant ice towers around you, and there's people frozen. It feels like you're walking through a statue garden.
We gave him this weapon called an amp, of course, because it amplifies his electricity, and just let him go to town on people's skulls. When he hits people with it, not only is it just smashing them, but it's also translating all of that electricity into their body. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. And this is a weapon only Cole can use, right? Because he's the only guy with electricity in his body like that. To anyone else, it's just a big, heavy, weird-looking fork. Not for Cole. It's very satisfying to be able to wail on a person with a big, heavy weapon and then very, very fluidly change to shooting lightning bolts into a crowd of people, jumping up a wall, get to the top of a building, look down, decide, I'm not done with these guys, jump off, and smash into a group. You can do this all in the scope of like 10 seconds in our game. And as a result, you know, there's a lot of freedom and there's a lot of improvisational violence.
It's about taking the player, putting them in a situation where they get to do something they can't do in real life. A super enjoyable, super powerful experience. And I think that comes across in our games.